gentlemen of Japan, on many a force and joy, on many a screen and fire, we figure in lively paint, our attitudes queer and quaint, you're wrong if you think we ain't. We are worked by strings, like a Japanese marionette. You don't understand these things. It is simply court etiquette. And hats and bows is strong, can keep it up all day long. If that's your idea, you're wrong.
Gentlemen, I pray you tell me where a gentle maiden dwelleth named Yum Yum, the ward of Coco. In pity speak, oh speak, I pray you.
Why, who are you who ask this question?
Come, gather round me, and I'll tell a wandering minstrel I'm, a theme of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby. My catalogue is long through every passion ranging, and to your humors changing, I tune my sorrowful song. I tune my sorrowful song. Are you in sentimental mood? I'll sigh with you. Oh, sorrow. On maiden's coldness do you brood. I'll do so song of the sea. We'll leave the capstan to the road. With a yo-he-ho, for the wind is free. Our flag is a trip and the helm's a lee. Hurrah for the homeward bound.
Yo-ho-dee-ho, hurrah for the homeward bound.
To lay aloft in a howling breeze, we tingle a landsman's taste. But the happiest star a sailor sees is when he's down at an inland town with his Nazi on his knees. Yo-ho! And his arm around her waist.
And at the capstan off we go as the fiddler swings us round. With a yo-he-ho and a rom-he-ho, hurrah for the homeward bound. With a yo-he-ho and a rom-he-ho, yo-ho-he-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho-ho-ho-ho-ho.
Shreds and patches of ballad songs and snatches and dreamy lullaby and dreamy
What may be your business with Yum Yum?
I'll tell you. A year ago, I was a member of the Titipoo Town Band. It was my duty to take the cap around for contributions. While discharging this delicate office, I saw Yum Yum. We loved each other at once, but she was betrothed to her guardian, Coco, a cheap tailor, and I saw that my suit was hopeless. Overwhelmed with despair, I quitted the town. Judge of my delight when I heard a month ago that Coco had been condemned to death for flirting. I hurried back at once, in the hope of finding Yum Yum at liberty to listen to my protestations.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner under the following remarkable circumstances. Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our lands began, resolved to try a plan whereby young men might best be steadied. So he decreed in words succinct that all who flirted, leered or winked, unless connubially linked, forth would be beheaded, beheaded, beheaded. Forth would be beheaded. I expect you'll all agree that he was right to so decree. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right as right can be.
You are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be.
And all is right as right can be.
Right as right
Can be. Decree you'll understand was great dismay throughout the land, for young and old and shy and bold were equally affected. The youth who winked a roving eye or breathed an unconnubial sigh was thereupon condemned to die. He usually objected, he usually objected. And you'll allow, as I expect, that he was right to so object. And I am right, and you are right, and everything is quite correct.
You are right, and we are right, and everything is quite correct.
And everything is quite correct.
All is right, correct.
he's straight let out on bail, a convict from the county jail, whose head was next on some pretext condemned to be mown off, and made him headsman, for we said, who's next to be decapitated, cannot cut off another's head till he's cut his own off, his own off, his own off, till he's cut, his own off. And we are right, I think you'll say, to argue in this kind of way. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right, to lure away.
You are right, and we are right, and all is right, to lure away.
And you are right, and we are right,
And all is right.
The Chief Tailor, Lord High Executioner of Titipu. Why, that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
It is logical, Mikado, having decided that no moral difference occurs between the dignified judge who condemns a criminal to die and the industrious mechanic who carries out the sentence. And so he has rolled the two offices into one.
How good of you, for I see that you are a nobleman of the highest rank, to condescend to tell all this to me, a mere strolling minstrel.
Oh, don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive person of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand what I mean when I say I can trace my ancestry back to a protoplasmal, primordial, atomic globule. Consequently, my family pride is something inconceivable. I can't help it. I was born sneering. I struggled hard to overcome this defect. I mortify my pride continually. When all the great officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor, did I not unhesitatingly accept all of their positions at once?
and the salaries attached to them, you didn't.
It is consequently my degrading duty to serve this upstart as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Commander-in-Chief, Lord High Admiral, Master of the Buckhounds, Groom of the Backstairs, Archbishop of Titipu, and Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, all rolled into one. And at a salary. A poobah paid for his services. I, a salaried minion? Oh, but I do it. It revolts me, but I do it.
And it does you credit.
Oh, and I don't stop there. I dine with middle-class people on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I accept refreshment at any hands, no matter how lowly. I also retail state secrets at a very low figure. For example, any further information regarding Yum Yum comes under the heading of a state secret. Another insult. And methinks a light one. Young man despair, likewise go to keep Yum Yum the fair. You must not woo, it would not do. I'm sorry for you, you very imperfect ablutioner. This very day from school, Yum Yum will wend her way and homeward come with beat and drum and a rum-tum-tum to wed the Lord High Executioner. And the brass will crash and the trumpets play and the cars and dash on their wedding way. She'll toddle away as Oliver with the Lord High Executioner.
And the brass will crash, and
I'd flee. But don't blame me, I'm sorry to be your pleasure and diminutioner. They'll vow their pact extremely soon. In point of fact, this afternoon, her honeymoon with that buffoon at 7 commences, so you shall her. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets play, and their cars will crash, and their wedding day. She'll toddle away as Oliver with the Lord High Executioner.
And the rocks will crash, and the trumpets play, and the cars will dash away.
She'll toddle away as Oliver with the Lord High Executioner.
For a month, or nearly, to learn that Yum, whom I love so dearly, this day to Coco is to be united.
The fact appears to be as you've recited. But here he comes, equipped to suit his station. He'll give you any further information. Behold the Lord High Executioner, a personage of noble rank and title, a dignified and potent officer, whose functions are particularly vital. Defer to the Lord High Executioner. Defer
Taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, liberated then on bail, on my own recognizances, wafted by a favoring gale, as one sometimes is in trances, to a height that few can scale, save by long and weary dances, surely never had a male, under such like circumstances, so adventurous a tale, which may rank with most romances, taken from the county jail, by a set of glorious chances, surely never had a tale so adventurous a tale. Defer to the Lord High Executioner. Defer to the noble Lord, to the noble Lord High Executioner. this reception. I can only trust that by strict attention to duty I may vouchsafe and ensure a continuance of those favours which will always be my study to deserve. If I should ever be called upon to act professionally, I am happy to think that there will be no difficulty in finding plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground and who never would be missed. Oh, never would be missed. There's the pestilential nuisances who write for autographs, or people who have flabby hands and irritating laughs, or children who are up on dates and throw you with them flat, or persons who on shaking hands shake hands with you like that, and all third persons who on spoiling tete-a-tetes insist, and they'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
He's got them on the list. He's got them on the list. And they'll none of them be missed. They'll none of them be missed.
There's the banjo serenader and the others of his race, and the piano organist. I've got him on the list, and the people who be peppermint and puff it in your face. I'm sure they'd not be missed. They never would be missed. There's the idiot who praises with enthusiastic tone all centuries but this, and every country but his own. And the lady from the provinces who dresses like a guy, who doesn't think she dances but would rather like to try. And that singular anomaly, the lady novelist, I don't think she'd be missed. I'm sure she'd not be missed.
He's got her on the list. He's got her on the list. And I don't think she'll be missed. I'm sure she'll not be missed.
Those who say I'm a celebrity, so get me out of here. I've got them on the list. I've got them on the list. And anyone who tells me that they've got the answer here, I've got them on the list. For sure, they're on the list. There's the social media influencers, ban them one and all. Those who think that they can sing, but all they do is caterwaul. Politicians who with hands on heart say, hey, you can trust me. All involved in that abominable reality TV, telemarketers, swift tailors, and conspiracy theorists, and they'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
You may put them on the list. You may put them on the list. And none of them be missed. And none of them be missed.
It seems that the festivities in connection with my approaching marriage must last a week. I should like to do it handsomely, and I want to consult you as to the amount we ought to spend upon them.
Yes, certainly. In which of my capacities? First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse, or Private Secretary?
Suppose we say as private secretary.
Well, as your private secretary, I should say that as the city is going to pay for it, don't stint yourself. Do it well.
Exactly. As the city will have to pay for it. That is your advice.
As private secretary. Of course, you will understand that as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I am bound to ensure that due economy is observed.
Oh. But you said just now, don't stint yourself, do it well.
As private secretary.
And now you say that due economy must be observed.
As Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I see. Come over here, where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now, as my solicitor, how do you advise me to deal with this difficulty?
Oh, as your solicitor, I should say without hesitation, chance it.
Thank you. I will.
Were it not that as Lord Chief Justice, I have an obligation to ensure that the law isn't violated.
I see. Come over here, where the Chief Justice can't hear us. Now then, as First Lord of the Treasury,
Well, as First Lord of the Treasury, I could propose a special vote that would cover all of the expenses. Were it not that as leader of the opposition, I would have a duty to resist it tooth and nail. Or as Paymaster General, I could so cook the accounts that as Lord High Auditor, I could never discover the fraud. But then as Archbishop of Titipu, I would be bound to denounce my dishonesty and hand myself over to my own custody as First Commissioner of Police.
That's extremely awkward.
Well, it's not to say that all of these distinguished persons cannot be squared, but it would be right to tell them they would not be sufficiently degraded in their own estimation without being insulted by a considerable bribe.
The matter shall have my careful consideration. But my bride and her sister's approach, and any little compliment on your part, such as an abject grovel in a characteristic Japanese attitude, would be esteemed a favor.
Fair money, no grovel.
Won't have to wait very long, they say. 3 little maids from school.
was the idea.
It seems odd, don't it? It's rather peculiar. Oh, I expect it's all right. It must have a beginning, you know. Well, of course. I know nothing about these things, but I have no objection if it's usual.
Oh, it's quite usual, I think. Eh, Lord Chamberlain?
I have known it done.
Thank goodness that's over. Oh, why, it's nephew. And we're not coming back anymore.
I beg your pardon. Will you present me?
Oh,
One at a time, if you please.
oh, if you please, he's the gentleman who used to play so beautifully on the Marine Parade. Yes, I think that was the name of the instrument.
Sir, I have the misfortune to love your ward, Yum Yum. Oh, I know I deserve your anger. Anger? Not me, my boy. Why, I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Pretty eyes, nice hair, taking little thing altogether. Very glad to have my opinion backed by competent authority. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
What is this? A customer come to try on?
That is a tremendous swell.
Go away, little girls. Can't talk to little girls like you. Go away, this case.
Allow me to present you, Pooh-Bah. These are my 3 wards. The one on the left is my bride-elect.
Well, what do you want me to do with them? Mind you, I won't kiss them.
No, you shan't kiss them. A little bow, a mere nothing. You needn't mean it, you know.
It goes against the grain. They're not young ladies, they're young persons.
Oh, you can't make an effort. There's a good nobleman.
Well, I shan't mean it. How do you do, little girls? How do you do? Oh, my proto-plasmal ancestor.
That's very good.
I see nothing to laugh at. It's very painful for me to say howdy do, little girls, howdy do to young persons. I'm not in the habit of saying howdy do, little girls, howdy do to anybody under the rank of stockbroker.
Don't laugh at him. He can't help it. He's under treatment for it. Never mind them. They don't understand the delicacy of your position.
We understand how delicate it is, don't we?
I should think we did. How a nobleman of your importance can do it at all is the thing I never can, never shall understand.
So please is very much regret if we have failed in etiquette. Towards a better friend, so I shall know better by and by. But you, of course, must have explained some pardon us, some pardon us. And don't be guiltless and be spring, be pardon us, if we incline to dance and sing la 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 la. But you, of course, must have explained some pardon us, and don't be guiltless and be spring, be pardon us. You, of course, must have explained some pardon us, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la.
I think you ought to recollect you cannot show too much respect toward the highly titled few, but nobody does, so why should you? The youth that us should have its spring is hard on us, it's hard on us, to our prerogative we cling, so hard on us, so hard on us, if we decline to dance and sing tra-la-la-la-la-la,
But you,
tra-la-la-la-la-la.
of course, must have explained some pardon us, and don't we know what happens when we pardon us? You, of course, must have explained some pardon us, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la.
night and day for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian was beheaded. And I find that you're about to be married to him this afternoon.
Alas, yes.
But you do not love him.
Alas, no.
Mortified rapture. But why do you not refuse him?
What good would that do? He's my guardian, and he wouldn't let me marry you.
Oh, but I would wait until you are of age.
You forget that in Japan, girls do not arrive at years of discretion until they are 50.
True. From 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion.
Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wind instrument outside tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of a Lord High Executioner.
Oh, but shall I tell her? Yes, she will not betray me. What if it should prove that after all I am no musician?
There! I was certain of it directly I heard you play.
What if it should prove that I am no other than the son of His Majesty the Mikado?
The son of the Mikado? But why is your Highness disguised? And what has your Highness done? And will your Highness promise never to do it again?
Some years ago, I had the misfortune to captivate Katisha, an elderly lady of my father's court. She misconstrued my customary affability into expressions of affection and claimed me in marriage under my father's law. My father, the Lucius Junius Brutus of his race, ordered me to marry her within a week or perish ignominiously on a scaffold. That night, I fled his court, and assuming the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band in which you found me when I had the happiness of seeing you.
If you please, I think your Highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
Oh, but we are quite alone and nobody can see us.
Still, that don't make it right to flirt is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Oh, deuce take the law.
I wish it would, but it won't.
Oh, if it were not for that, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
If it were not for the law, we should now be sitting side by side. Like that.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile off. Like that.
We should be gazing into each other's eyes. Like that.
Breathing sighs of unutterable love. Ah, like that.
With our arms around each other's waists. Like that.
Yes, if it wasn't for the law.
If it wasn't for the law.
As it is, of course, we couldn't do anything of the kind.
Oh, not for worlds.
Being engaged to Coco, you know?
Being engaged to Coco. Were you not to Coco plighted, I would say in tender tone, loved one, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I would not your rank and station, worldly spheres are not to us, and to God my admiration, I would kiss you fondly thus. I would kiss you fondly thus.
But as I'm engaged to Coco, to embrace her thus from the home, this thing may be no Coco, I'm going on and should get Toco.
Toco,
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 Toco, Toco.
So in spite of all temptation, such a thing I'll not discuss, and on no consideration will I kiss you fondly thus. Will I kiss you fondly thus? Let me make it clear to you, this is what I'll never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this. This is what I'll never, never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this. This is what I'll never do. To think how entirely my future happiness is wrapped up in that little parcel. Really, it hardly seems worthwhile. Oh, matrimony. Now then, what is it? Can't you see I'm soliloquizing? You have interrupted an apostrophe, sir.
I am the bearer of a letter from His Majesty the Mikado.
A letter from the Mikado? What in the world can he have to say to me? Oh, here it is at last. I thought it would come sooner or later. The Mikado is struck by the fact that no executions have taken place in Titipu for a year, and decrees that unless someone is beheaded within 1 month, the post of Lord High Executioner shall be abolished, and a city reduced to the rank of a village.
But that would involve us all in irretrievable ruin.
Yes. There's no help for it. I shall have to execute somebody at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
Well, it seems unkind to say so, but as you're already under sentence of death for flirting, everything seems to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't execute myself.
Why not?
Why not? Well, in the first place, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to say dangerous thing to attempt. And in the second, it's suicide. And suicide is a capital offence.
Ah, that is true, no doubt.
Yes, we might reserve that point.
Oh, of course, it could be argued before the full course in 6 months hence.
Besides, I don't see how a man can cut off his own head.
A man might try.
Even if you only succeeded in cutting it half off, that would be something.
That would serve as an earnest of your intention to comply with the imperial will.
No, pardon me, but there I am adamant. As official headsman, my reputation is at stake, and I can't consent to embark on a professional operation unless I see my way to a successful result.
This professional conscientiousness of yours is very creditable to you, but it puts us in a very awkward position.
My good sir, the awkwardness of your position is grace itself compared with that of a man engaged in the act of cutting off his own head.
I'm afraid that unless you can find a substitute...
A substitute? Oh, certainly. Nothing easier. Hooba! I appoint you Lord High Substitute.
I should be delighted. Such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams, but no, at any sacrifice I must put bounds on my insatiable ambition. I am so proud if I allowed my family pride to be my guide. I'd volunteer to quit this sphere instead of you in a minute or two. But family pride must be denied and set aside and mortified and mortified.
My brain it teems with endless scheme of good and new quantity, but if I flit the benefit that I diffuse, the town would lose. Now every man to aid his clan should plot and plan as best he can.
I heard one day a gentleman say that criminals who are cut in two can hardly feel the fatal steel, and so are slain without much pain. If this is true, it's jolly for you, your courage true to bid us adieu.
I am so proud
My brain
if
it
I heard one day a gentleman say that criminals who are cut in two can hardly feel the fatal steel, and so are slain without much pain. If this is true, your courage true to bid us adieu.
And so, although I'm ready to go, yet recollect were disrespect if I neglect to thus effect the same direct. So I object.
I wish to go, and brightly shine, and take the line of a hero fine with grief combined. I must decline.
And go and show a friend and foe how much you care. I'm quite aware it's your affair. I take your share, but I take your share, but I don't much care. I take your share, but I don't much care. I take your share, but I don't much care. I take your share, but I don't much care. I just don't care, I just don't care.
To sit silent in a dull, in a pestilential prison with a life, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a chippy chopper on a big black clock. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, in a pestilential prison with a life, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a chippy chopper on a big black clock. A dull, a light, a short, sharp shock, a big black clock. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation of a chippy chopper on a big black
This is simply appalling. I, who allowed myself to be respited at the last moment, simply in order to benefit my native town, am now required to die within a month, and that by a man whom I have loaded with honours. Is this public gratitude? Is this... Go away, sir! How dare you? Am I never to be permitted to soliloquize?
Oh, go on, don't mind me.
What are you going to do with that rope?
I'm about to terminate an unendurable existence.
Terminate your existence? Oh, nonsense. What for?
Because you're going to marry the girl I adore.
Nonsense, sir. I won't permit it. I'm a humane man, and if you attempt anything of the kind, I shall order your instant arrest. Come, sir. Desist at once, or I summon my guard.
But that's absurd. If you attempt to summon and raise an alarm, I instantly perform the happy dispatch with this dagger.
No, don't do that. Oh, this is horrible. Why, you cold-blooded scoundrel. Are you aware that in taking your life you are committing a crime which is... Oh. Substitute.
What's the matter?
Is it absolutely certain that you are resolved to die?
Absolutely.
Well, nothing at all shake your resolution?
Nothing.
Threats, entreaties, prayers, all useless?
All. My mind is made up.
Then if you really mean what you say, and if you are absolutely resolved to die, and if nothing whatever will shake your determination, don't spoil yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the public executioner.
Well, I don't see how that would benefit me.
You don't. Observe. You'll have a month to live, and you'll live like a fighting cock at my expense. When the day comes, there'll be a grand public ceremonial. You'll be the central figure. No one will attempt to deprive you of that distinction. There'll be a procession. Bands, dead march, bells tolling. All the girls in tears. Yum, distracted. And then, when it's all over, general rejoicings and a display of fireworks in the evening. You won't see them, but they'll be there all the same.
Do you think Yum would really be distracted at my death?
I am convinced of it. Bless you, she's the most tender-hearted little creature alive.
I should be sorry to cause her pain. Perhaps after all, if I were to withdraw from Japan and travel in Europe for a couple of years, I might contrive to forget her.
Oh, I don't think you could forget Yum so easily. And besides, what could be more miserable than a love-blighted life?
True.
Life without Yum, why, it seems absurd.
And yet there are a good many people in the world who have to endure it.
Poor devils, yes. You are quite right not to be of their number.
I won't be of their number.
Noble fellow.
Let me tell you how we'll manage it. Let me marry Yum tomorrow, and in a month you may behead me.
No, I draw the line at Yum.
Very good. If you can draw the line, so can I.
Stop! Listen, one moment. Be reasonable. How can I consent to your marrying Yum if I'm going to marry her myself.
But my good fellow, she'll be a widow in a month, and you can marry her then.
That's true, of course. I quite see that, but dear me, my position during the next month will be most unpleasant. Most unpleasant.
Not half so unpleasant as my position at the end of it.
But, dear me, well, I agree. After all, it's only putting off my wedding for a month. But you won't prejudice her against me, will you? You see, I've educated her to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a wise and good man. Now, I shouldn't like her views on that point disturbed.
Trust me, she shall never learn the truth from me.
Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer.
The Japanese equivalent of here, here, here.
'Tis Nanky-Poo.
Hail Nanky-Poo.
I think he'll do.
Yes, yes, you do.
He yields his life if I'll yum surrender. Now I adore that girl with passion tender, and could not yield her with a ready will, or her a lot, if I did not adore myself with passion tender still, with passion tender still.
Oh yes, he lost himself with passion tender still.
Take her, she's yours.
The threatened cloud has passed away. Although the night may come too soon.
Then let the throng adorn our hearts with loving song and fairy dance, and let the crowd
die if Coco tells us true. 'Twere empty compliment to cry long life to Nanky Poo. But as one month you have to live as fellow citizen, this toast with 3 times 3 will give long life. Long life to you. Long life to you.
I haven't finished yet.
Long life to you. Till end.
May all good fortune prosper you. May you have health, may you have health and riches too. May all good fortune prosper you. May you have health and riches too. May you succeed in all you do.
You rebel seas, assist me, all of you.
Why, who is this whose evil eyes bring light on our festivities?
I claim my perjured lover, Nanky Poo. Oh, fool to shun the light that never cloy.
Go leave the deadly work undone.
Come back, oh shallow fool, come back to join.
Away, away, ill-favored one.
Ah, 'tis Katisha, the maid of whom I told you.
No, you shall not go. These arms shall thus enfold you. A fool that fearst my hallowed joys, a blind that seest no egg with boys. Oh, rash the judges from above the hall, cannot tell us the state of your connubial views towards the person you accuse does not concern us, for he's gone to marry Yum Yum. Your ugly bravery, your home will be merry. I think you had better sit down. Come. Enjoy your expressions on this subject of being dumb. We can't have a lady who went for a lady who went for your guidance is now.
On this subject we pray you be dumb. We think you had better succumb. You'll find there a lady who went for a penny, who went for a penny. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea.
Now comes the blow.
Prepare yourself for new surprising.
How foil my foe?
No minstrel me, despite bravado. I know he is the son of your. In vain you interrupt with this tornado. He is the only son of your. I'll spoil your gay gambado. He is the son the whole world. Can this be vanity? No. Nature is lovely and rejoices in her loveliness. I am a child of nature and take after my mother. The sun holds rays are all ablaze with ever-living glory. Does not deny his majesty, he scorns to tell a story. He doth explain my blush and shame, so kindly indulgent. Not fierce and bold in fiery gold, in glory's more effulgent. I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really know the sun and earth. I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really know our worth, the sun and Observe his flame, that placid day, the moon's celestial highness. There's not a trace upon her face of diffidence or shyness. She borrows light that through the night may kite me all acclaim her. And truth to tell, she lights up well, so I for one don't blame her. Pray make no mistake, we are not shy. We're very wide awake, alone and I. Pray make no mistake, we are not shy. We're very wide awake, the moon and I. Seems to smile upon me. I'm to be married today to the man I love best, and I believe I'm the very happiest girl in Japan.
Happiest girl indeed, for she is indeed to be envied who has attained happiness in all but perfection.
In all but perfection?
Well, dear, it can't be denied that the fact that your husband is to be beheaded in a month is, in its way, a drawback. It does seem to take the top off it.
Oh, I don't know about that. It all depends.
Well, at all events, he will find it a drawback.
Oh, not necessarily, bless you. It all depends. I think it very indelicate of you to refer to such a subject on such a day, even if my married happiness is to be
Cut short.
cut short in a month. Can't you let me forget?
Young in tears, and on her wedding morn.
Baby, remind me that in a month you're to be beheaded.
Yes, we've been reminding her that you were to be beheaded. It's quite true, you know. You are to be beheaded.
Well, some bridegrooms will be depressed by this sort of thing. A month? What's a month? These divisions of time are purely arbitrary. Who says 24 hours make a day?
There is a popular impression to that effect.
Oh, well, then we'll efface it. We'll call each second a minute, each minute an hour, each hour a day, and each day a year. And at that rate, well, we've around 30 years of married happiness before us.
And at that rate, this interview has already lasted 4 hours and 3/4.
Yes, how time flies when one is thoroughly enjoying oneself.
That's the way to look at it. Don't let's be downhearted. There's a silver lining to every cloud.
Yes, let's be perfectly happy.
By all means, let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry. Quite ridiculous. Brightly dawns our wedding day.
Joyous are we give thee greeting. Yet until the shadows fall over one and over all,
Sing a merry madrigal.
sing a merry madrigal, sing a merry madrigal.
Let us join the maidens here.
Though the hours are surely creeping, yet away for woeful weeping, till the sad sundown is near, till the sad sundown is near. All must sit the cup of sorrow.
I today and not tomorrow.
This the close of every day. Solemn shadows fall, sooner, later, over all.
Sing a merry madrigal.
Sing a merry madrigal, sing a merry madrigal.
Go on, don't mind me.
But I'm afraid we're distressing you.
Never mind, I must get used to it. Only, please, do it by degrees. Begin by placing your arm around her waist. There, let me get used to that first.
Wouldn't you like to retire? It must pain you to see us so affectionate together.
No, I must learn to bear it. Now, oblige me by allowing her head to rest on your shoulder.
Like this?
No. Like that. I'm much obliged to you. Now, kiss her. Thank you. Oh, it's simple torture.
Come, Vera. After all, it's only for a month.
No, it's no good deluding oneself with false hope.
What do you mean?
My child, my poor child, how shall I break it to her? My little bride that was to have been.
What's to have been?
Yes, you never can be mine.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I just ascertained that by the Mikado's law, when a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Buried alive. It's a most unpleasant death.
Oh, but whom did you get this from?
Oh, from Pooh Bah.
He's my solicitor.
But maybe he is mistaken.
Well, so I thought. So I consulted the Attorney General, the Lord Chief Justice, Master of the Rolls, the Judge Ordinary, and the Lord Chancellor. All of the same opinion. I never knew such unanimity on a point of law in my life.
Oh, but stop a bit. This law has never been put in force.
Not yet. But you see, flirting is the only crime punishable with decapitation. And married men never flirt.
Of course they don't. I'd quite forgotten that. Well, I suppose I may take it that my dream of happiness is at an end.
Darling,
Yes?
I don't want to appear selfish. And you know I love you with all my heart. I don't suppose I'll ever love anyone half as much. But when I agreed to marry you, my own, it never occurred to me, pet, that I'd have to be buried alive in a month.
Oh, nor I. It's the very first I've heard of it.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does make a difference, of course.
You see, burial alive, it's such a stuffy death.
Oh, I call it a beast of a death.
You see my difficulty?
I do, and I see my own. If I insist on your carrying out your promise, I doom you to a hideous death. But if I release you, you marry Coco at once.
Here's a howdy-do, if I marry you. When your time has come to perish, then the maiden troth you cherish must be started too. Here's a howdy-do, here's a howdy-do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. I must die without a wedding. Let the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess. Here's a pretty mess.
Here's a state of things, to her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion. Burial it brings. Here's a state of things, here's a state of things.
With a passion that's intense, you must abandon. But the laws of common sense we ought to ignore. If what he says is true, 'tis death to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things, here's a pretty howdy-do. Here's a pretty state of things, a pretty state of things.
Here's a howdy-do.
Here's a howdy, here's a howdy.
For if what he says is true, I cannot marry you. Here's a pretty state of things. Here's a pretty howdy-do.
My poor boy, I'm really very sorry for you.
Oh, thanks, old fellow. I'm sure you are.
You see, I'm quite helpless.
Yes, I quite see that.
I can't conceive anything more depressing than to have one's marriage broken off at the last moment. But you shan't be disappointed at a wedding. You shall come to mine.
That's awfully kind of you, but that's impossible.
Why so?
Today I die.
What do you mean?
I can't live without Yum Yum. This afternoon I perform the Happy Dispatch.
No, pardon me, I can't allow that.
Well, why not?
Well, hang it all, you're under contract to be beheaded by the public executioner in a month's time. If you kill yourself, what's to become of me? Why, I shall have to be executed in your place.
It would certainly seem so.
Now then, Lord Mayor, what is it?
The Mikado and his suite are approaching the city and will be here in 10 minutes.
The Mikado. He's coming to see whether his orders have been carried out. Now look here, you know, this is getting serious. A bargain's a bargain, and you really mustn't frustrate the ends of justice by committing suicide. As a man of honour and a gentleman, you are bound to die ignominiously at the hands of the public executioner.
Very well then. Behead me.
What? Now?
Certainly, at once.
Chop it off, Coco, chop it off.
My good sir, I'm not in the habit of being prepared to execute gentlemen at a moment's notice. Why, I never even killed a blue bottle.
Still as Lord High Executioner.
My good sir, as Lord High Executioner, I've got to behead him in a month. I'm not ready yet. I don't know how it's done. I'm going to take lessons. I mean to begin with a guinea pig and work my way through the animal kingdom till I come to a second trombone. Why, you don't suppose that as a humane man I've accepted the post of Lord High Executioner if I hadn't thought the duties were purely nominal? I can't kill you. I can't kill anything. I can't kill anybody.
Oh, come, my poor fellow. We all have unpleasant duties to discharge at times. After all, what is it? If I don't care, why should you? Remember, sooner or later, it must be done.
Must it? I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean?
Why should I kill you when making an affidavit that you've been executed will do just as well? Here are plenty of witnesses. Lord Chief Justice, Lord High Admiral, the Commander-in-Chief, the Secretary of State for the Home Department, First Lord of the Treasury, and Chief Commissioner of Police.
Where are they?
Well, there they are. They will swear to it, won't you?
Am I to understand that all of us high officers of state are to perjure ourselves to ensure your safety?
Why not? You've been grossly insulted, as usual.
Will the insult be cashed down or at a date?
It will be a ready money transaction.
Well, it would be a useful discipline. Very good. Choose your fiction and I'll endorse it. Family pride, how do you like that, my buck?
But I tell you, life without Yum Yum.
Oh, yum yum, yum yum, bother yum yum. Here, Commissioner, go and fetch yum yum. Take yum yum and marry yum yum, only go away and never come back again. Here she comes. Yum yum, are you particularly busy?
Not particularly.
You've 5 minutes to spare?
Yes.
Then go along with His Grace the Archbishop of Chittipoo and he'll marry you at once.
But
Don't
I'm
ask
to be buried
any
alive.
questions. Just do as I tell you and Nanky Poo will explain all.
But one moment.
Not for worlds. Here comes the Mikado, no doubt to ascertain whether I've obeyed his decree, and if he finds you alive, I shall have the greatest difficulty persuading him I beheaded you. Close thing, that, for here he comes.
And I'm his daughter-in-law elect. He'll marry his son, he's only got one, to his daughter-in-law elect.
My morals have been declared particularly correct.
But they're nothing at all compared with those of his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow, to his daughter-in-law elect.
Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect. In a fatherly kind of way, I and says, oh, cheerfully own my sway.
Except his daughter-in-law elect, himself has a bone with a will of her own as his daughter-in-law elect.
My nature is love and light, my freedom from all defect.
Is insignificant quite compared with his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect.
Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect.
A more humane Mikado never did in Japan exist. To nobody second, I'm certainly reckoned a true philanthropist. It is my very humane endeavor to make, to some extent, each evil liver a running river of harmless merriment. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner plant, unwillingly represent, a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. Oh, prosy, dull society sinners who chatter and bleat and bore are sent to hear sermons from mystical Germans who preach from 10 till 4. The amateur tenor whose vocal villainies all desire to shirk shall during off hours exhibit his powers to Madame Tussauds waxwork. The lady who dyes a chemical yellow or stains her gray hair puce or pinches her figure is painted with vigor in permanent walnut juice. The idiot who in railway carriages scribbles on window panes. We only suffer to ride on a buffer in parliamentary trains. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner bent, unwillingly represent, a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner bent, unwillingly represent, a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
The advertising quack who worries with tales of endless tours, his teeth I've enacted shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The musical singer attends a series of and folks and ops by Bach and Beethoven and classical Monday pops. The who catches his dooms extremely hard, he's made to dwell in a dungeon cell on a spot that's always marred, and there he plays extravagant matches in fiddler's finger stalls on a cloth untrue with a twisted hue and elliptical billiard balls. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner bent, unwillingly represent, a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
Your Majesty. I guess the object of Your Majesty's visit. Your wishes have been attended to. The execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, haven't you?
Yes. The coroner has just handed me his certificate.
I am the coroner. And this is the certificate of his death. At Titipu, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, the Lord Chief Justice, the Attorney General, the Secretary of State for the Home Department, the Lord Mayor, and the groom of the second floor front.
They were all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
A very good house. I wish I'd been on time for the performance.
A tough fellow he was, too. A man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific. It really was a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frightful, panting, fearful frown, I bared my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and guggled, I drew my stick asleep. My stick asleep. Oh, never shall I forget the cry of a shriek that shriek in me. As I gnashed my teeth when from its sheath I drew my stick asleep.
We know him well, he cannot tell a true or broken sails. He always tries to otherwise, and every time he fails. He shivered and shook as he gave the sign for the stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden his eye met mine, and it seemed to brace his nerve. For he nodded his head and kissed his head, and he whistled an melody. As the saber true cut freely through his serving mountain when a man's afraid and beautiful maid is a cheering sight to see, and it's all regret that moment said was soothed by sight of me. The terrible tale you want to say, the truth is quite agrees. The taste exact of hopeless fact, from house to of disease.
Now, though you'd have said this head was dead, on its own a dead was me. It sat on its neck with a smile well bred, and bowed 3 times to me. It was none of your impudent off, and not but as humble as me. For it clearly knew the deference due to a man of pedigree. And its hope and blow, this deadly blow, was a touching sight to see. Though trunkless yet, it couldn't forget the deference due to me.
His haughty youth, his taste for truth, wherever he finds a place. And in his face, it all took place, exactly as he said.
Exactly, 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 exactly as he said. This is all very interesting, and I should like to have seen it. But we came on a totally different matter. Last year, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed. Had he any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatever. On the contrary, I was going to marry him, yet he fled.
I am amazed that he should have fled from one so lovely.
That's not true.
No.
You hold that I am not beautiful because my face is plain. But you know nothing, you are still unenlightened. Learn then that it is not in the face alone that beauty is to be sought. My face is unattractive.
It is.
But I have a left shoulder blade that is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. My right elbow has a fascination that few can resist.
Allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays on presentation of visiting card. As for my circulation, it is the largest in the world.
And yet he fled.
And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes. Would it be troubling you too much if I asked you to produce him? He goes by the name of...
Nanki Poo.
Nanki Poo.
It's quite easy. That is, it's rather difficult. In point of fact, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Montville.
Oh!
What's the matter?
See here, his name, Nanki Poo, beheaded this morning. Oh! Where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Oh, my good fellow. It seems in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan.
I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with that expression of regret.
We really hadn't at least any notion.
Of course you hadn't. How could you? Oh, come, my good fellow, don't distress yourself. It was no fault of yours. If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, then he must take the consequences. It really distresses me to see you take on so. I have no doubt that he deserved everything he got.
We are infinitely obliged to your majesty.
Very much obliged to your majesty.
Very, very much obliged, your majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit. Don't mention it. How could you tell?
Of course. How could we tell who he really was?
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
It might have been on his pocket handkerchief, but Japanese don't use pocket handkerchiefs.
I forget the punishment for encompassing the death of the heir apparent.
Punishment!
Yes, it's something lingering. With boiling oil in it, I fancy.
Oh.
I think boiling oil occurs in it, but I'm not sure. I know it's something amusing, but lingering, with either boiling oil or
Melted lead.
melted lead. Oh, come, don't fret. I'm not a bit angry.
If your majesty will accept our assurance, we had no idea.
Of course.
I knew nothing about it.
I wasn't there.
That's the sad thing about it. The fool of an act says encompassing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word about a mistake.
No.
We're not knowing.
No.
We're having no notion.
No.
We're not being there.
No.
There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't.
Oh.
That's the slovenly way in which these acts are always drawn. But don't worry, cheer up, it'll be all right. I'll have it amended. Next session. Now then, let's see about your execution. Will after luncheon suit you? Can you wait until then?
Yes. We can wait till then.
Then we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances. See how the makes their gifts a lot. For A is happy, B is not, but B is worthy, I dare say, of more prosperity than A.
Is B more worthy?
I should say he's worth a great deal more than A.
But A is happy, oh so happy, laughing, ha ha, chopping, ha ha, nectar quaffing, ha ha ha, ever joyous, ever gay, happy undeserving A, ever joyous, ever gay, happy undeserving If I were fortune, which I'm not, B should enjoy his happy lot, and A should die in misery, that is assuming I am B. But should A perish, that should be, of course, assuming I am B. B should be happy, oh so happy, laughing, ha ha, shouting, ha ha, nectar quaffing, ha ha ha, but condemned to die is he, wretched meritorious he, but condemned to die is he, wretched meritorious he.
Got us into with your nodding head and the deference due to a man of pedigree.
Ah, mere corroborative detail intended to provide artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bold and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative details indeed. Corroborative fiddlesticks.
You're just as bad as he is, with your cock and a bull story of catching his eye and whistling in air. That's so like you. You must put in your oar.
And what about your big right arm?
Yes, and your snickers snee.
Well, never mind that now. There's only one thing to be done. Nanky Poo hasn't started yet, and he must come to life again at once. Here he comes. Here, Nanky Poo. I've good news for you. You're reprieved.
Oh, but it's too late. I'm a dead man and I'm off for my honeymoon.
Nonsense. A terrible thing has just happened. It seems that you're the son of the Mikado.
Well, yes, but that happened some time ago.
Is this a time for airy persiflage? Your father is here, and with Katisha.
My father? And with Katisha?
Yes, he wants you particularly.
And so does she.
Alden is married now.
Bless my heart, what has that to do with it?
Katisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm already married. Consequently, she will insist on my execution. And if I'm executed, my wife will have to be buried alive.
Do you see our difficulty?
Yes. I don't know what's to be done.
There's one chance for you. If you can persuade Katisha to marry you, she will have no further claim on me. And in that case, I could come back to life without any fear of being put to death.
I married Katisha?
Oh, I really think it's the only course.
My good girl, have you seen her? Something appalling.
Oh, if it's only her face.
She has a left elbow that people come miles to see.
And I am told that her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I decline to pin my heart upon any lady's right heel.
It comes to this. While Katisha is single, I prefer to remain a disembodied spirit. When Katisha is married, existence would be as welcome as the flowers in the spring. The flowers that bloom in the spring
Tra-la, we promise of next sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring. Tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with the taste. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractive old thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, with a caricature of a face. And that's what I mean when I say or I sing, oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, oh, bother the flowers of spring.
Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
Alone and yet alive. Oh, sepulchre, my soul is still my body's prisoner. Remote the peace that death alone can give. My doom to wait, my punishment to live. Hearts do not break, they sting and ache, for old love's sake, but do not die. Though with each breath they long for death, as witnesseth the living eye, the living eye. Oh, living eye, come tell me, when hope is gone, dost thou stay on? Or linger here where all is drear? Oh, living eye, come tell May not a cheated maiden die? May not a cheated maiden die?
Cat,
The miscreant who robbed me of my love. But vengeance pursues. They are heating the cauldron.
Cadisha, behold, a suppliant at your feet. Cadisha, mercy.
Mercy! Had you mercy for him? See here, you. You have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have loved me in time. I'm an acquired taste. Only the educated palate can appreciate me. I was educating his palate when he left me. Well, he is dead. And where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Here!
What?
Kadisha, for years I have loved you with a white-hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Oh, shrink not from me. If there is aught of woman's mercy in your heart, turn not away a lovesick suppliant whose every fibre thrills at your tiniest touch. True it is that under a poor mask of disgust I have endeavoured to conceal a passion whose inner fires are broiling the soul within me. But the fire will not be smothered. It defies all attempts at extinction, and breaking forth all the more eagerly for its long restraint, declares itself in words which will not be weighed, which cannot be schooled, which should not be too severely criticized. Kadisha, I dare not hope for your love, for I will not live without it. Darling.
You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare to address words of passion to the woman you have so foully wronged.
I do. Accept my love, or I perish on the spot.
Oh, go to. Who knows so well as I that no one ever yet died of a broken heart?
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tomtit sang willow, tit willow, tit willow. And I said to him, Dicky bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit willow, tit willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cry, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head, he replied, oh willow, tit willow, tit willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Oh willow, tit willow, tit willow. He sobbed and he sighed and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into the billowy wave. And an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Oh willow, tit willow, tit willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't willow, tit willow, tit willow. That was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh willow, tit willow, tit willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why, though I probably shall not exclaim as I die, oh willow, tit willow, tit willow. It's an effective tale and quite true. I knew the bird intimately.
Oh, did you? He must have been very fond of her.
His devotion was something extraordinary.
Oh, poor little chap. And if I refuse you, will you go and do the same? Oh, no, no, you mustn't. Anything but that. Oh, I'm a silly little goose.
You are.
And you won't hate me because I'm just a little teeny weeny bit bloodthirsty, will you?
Hate you? Oh, Kakisha, is there not beauty even in bloodthirstiness?
My idea exactly. There is beauty in the bellow of the blast. There is grandeur in the growling of the gale. There is eloquent outpouring when the lion is a-roaring and the tiger is a-lashing of his tail.
Yes, I like to see a tiger from the Congo or the Niger, and especially when lashing off his tail.
Volcanoes have a splendor that is grim, and earthquakes only terrify the dogs. But to any scientific, there is nothing that's terrific than a falling on the flight of thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my weakness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts.
If that is so, sing Betty down, Betty and Seven, and Betty out, taste our one. I will go and merrily, merry, no toddly, tarry till day is done.
There is beauty in extreme old age. Do you fancy you'll ever be enough? Information I'm requesting on something interesting is a maiden all the better when she's tough.
Throughout this white dominion, it's a general opinion that she'll last a good deal longer when she's tough.
I would love to marry, do you think? Or to wait until you're ready in the shade? There's a fascination granting in a room with that romantic woman if you are sufficiently decayed.
To the matter that you mention, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed. If that is so, sing Betty down, Betty and Seven, and Betty out, taste our one. I will go and merrily, merry, no hardly tarry till day is done. If that is so, sing Betty down, Betty and Seven, and Betty out, taste our one. I will go and merrily, merry, no hardly tarry till day is done. To merry down, merry, go merrily, merry, no hardly tarry till day is done.
Now then, we've had a capital lunch, and we're quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
Then produce the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
Mercy, mercy for Coco, mercy for Pity Sing, mercy even for Pooh Bah.
I beg your pardon. I don't think I quite heard that last part.
Mercy, even for Pooh Bah.
My husband that was to have been is dead, and I have just married this miserable object.
Oh, you've not been long about it.
We were married before the registrar.
I am the registrar.
I see. But my difficulty is that since you have slain the heir apparent,
The heir apparent is not slain.
oh bless my heart, my son.
And your daughter-in-law elected.
Traitor! You have deceived me!
Yes, you're entitled to some small explanation, but I think you will give it better whole than in pieces.
Your Majesty, it's like this. It is true that I had stated that I had killed Nanky Poo.
Yes, and with most affecting particulars.
Mere corroborative detail intended to give artistic
Will
relish.
you refrain from putting in your poor narrative? It's like this. When Your Majesty says, let a thing be done, it's as good as done. Practically, it is done because Your Majesty's will is law. Your Majesty says, kill a gentleman, and a gentleman is told off to be killed. Consequently, that gentleman is as good as dead. In practical terms, he is dead. And if he's dead, why not say so?
I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
Oh, he's strong and very yum yum.
Yum yum.
I can be very, all will be very. I think you had better sit down.
Come, come.
Enjoy our expressions of fun.
On this subject, I pray you be dumb.
Dum dum.
Your notions, though many, are not worth a penny. The word for your guidance is none.
Mum, mum.
You will very good
On this subject we pray you be dumb, dum dum. We think you had better sit down, come, come. You'll find there a penny, you'll wait for a penny, you'll wait for a penny. There are lots of good fish in the sea, there are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea.
The threads and cloud has passed away. Although the night may come too soon. Then there's
Thank you.